Hey everybody, so I am in one of my favorite places in the world, and this is the place that is Doug's home. This is where, if you've read The Raven's Way, which is the ebook is free on my website, if you've read that book or have interest in it, a lot of it takes place here. And this is where all the fairies live, the gnomes, the juniper trees and stuff are just filled with gnomes and fairies and different beings. Um, the stories that I have of, there was one about people parked camping right beside me, choosing to do so, and then projecting fear that I was going to murder them all night. Um, that was one of the stories. And then uh, in the fairies, and how they interacted with them, protecting me and trying to push those people away, and then eventually playing tricks and doing things to those people. And then when I gave the crystals and like the gnomes were fighting over them before I even knew Doug. I didn't even know him at that point in time because he hadn't stowed away in my car. Uh, so this is that area. Elves have been here. Redondo, the frog folk wizard, other beings. This time, Redondo opened up the portals through time essentially the one night, and we're on a full moon right now. And it's like every trip I think I come here, it's a full moon, and we the veil's thin. You get to experience more of them, and that sort of thing. But I last night I was camping over the hill, so where my car is where I typically park, and then put a tent up kind of close to it, and I'm kind of stop and go because there's people that pulled up right beside me as I started this video. I tried to film this video like 3-4 times. They kept passing by and interrupting it energetically. So I'm just making sure they're not coming towards me because there's, you know, the energy affects things. And anyhow, the moon was up the past couple nights and the elves came. I had an indigenous man show up. He stood outside the window. Don't know what he wanted. I just saw him there. I don't think I've seen those types of spirits here before. He was just curious. Joplin's here, the tree spirit, Redondo, the frog folk wizard. I'll try to remember to share them in my story. I have the art and some blogs on my website with them in it. And what was curious is I didn't think I'd be able to camp here. And it was funny because, I mean, those people pulled in. They're leaving now, and they were like, we're going to chase them off. They literally pulled in. They walked up to the point for I tried to film 3 times for 2 minutes each. So they were here less than maybe 5 minutes, a little more. And then off they're going, and I can hear the tones and stuff. It's like, see, we told you, we chased them off. There was a truck parked here, and the truck was on bricks. It was a converted truck. The back of it was converted, and it had a razor on a trailer. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get that spot and be free of people, because it's a lot easier to do this work when there aren't people around, especially when the Fae are like, talk to us and dance and sing and all of this at night. It's like, makes it harder when people are looking out their window. Like I said, there was a point in time where I was here doing that stuff and people thought I was crazy and going to kill them. So it's a just difficult thing to have those energies around. And so they told me this morning. I got up and I'm like, oh, I got to go in town and get groceries. And sorry, I'm stuttering too because for some reason, I don't know why, but when I'm in nature, my throat chakra is fine. And then recently, when I've been going into cities, it's like closing up and taking on a lot of stuff. There's something collective going on in populated areas. And I thought it was just Flagstaff. And it just happened. I went up to Farmington, and I'm in New Mexico right now. I pulled in and I could instantly feel, I'm like, what is going on? My throat just started having issues. So that's also why it might sound a little off. But the Fae this morning before I left, they're like, oh, we're going to chase them all away. Now, when I say this, I've been coming here for years, for 3, 4 years, and they love me. They absolutely love me here. To the point that the trees were bleeding sap in the form of hearts. One of the trees is over there. You know how easy it is for me to point there. One of the trees is there. They were bleeding sap in the form of hearts. I still have the sap. And they were giving me gifts, crystals, like putting them beside my car all the time, to where I would pick it up, I would turn around and turn back, and there'd be another one that just appeared, like it wasn't there and then it was. And I garden this. When I come here, I set up little gardens. I have a secret little garden that I've put fossils from Florida and things in that is kind of in plain sight, but nobody will probably ever find it. And we just have a beautiful friendship here. So when I come and they know I'm here, first of all, some of them already know I'm coming because they're connected quantumly. Some of them don't because they're not. And when they feel my energy show up, you just feel them get all excited. And it did take me a while to build trust, but it was funny because the last 2 nights, I was like, "Oh, Doug, we're not by your tree, your house. We're kind of like, 500 feet away, maybe a little bit more." And he's like, "Oh, that don't matter. I'm gonna go get them." And he didn't end up getting them. The other two gnomes, Sally and Sam, who I don't really talk about, they went and told everybody. And then I just turned. I think I was watching a movie, and I turned over at one point, and I just feel all this energy like bum rush the car, and there's all these little people all over the place. So it was funny because I'm like, okay, well, I want to sit up here because they also have these, which when there's no shade other than, some juniper trees type of thing, these are amazing if you can get one. And there's only a couple of them here. And usually they're always taken by people. They're going to take those first. And I was like, well, I want that spot that I always go to where we met, where I usually put my tent. And they go, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to chase those people off. So there were people there that had a truck that was on bricks. And I went, oh, no, they're probably staying a while. And they're like, no, nope, they're not. We're going to chase them off. I go into town. I come back. Sure enough, that truck is gone. And everybody else that's camping is up on the other side, not anywhere near this, which is interesting because usually people will park here, or there's like one or two other spots because of the vault toilet is right there. So I was like, oh, okay, grab that spot. I grabbed it. And then I just could feel all their energy and their joy and happiness and stuff in mine too. But then I was walking around trying to film this. And again, some people, I see them pull up and I'm like, I'm trying to film. They pull in, and then the energy immediately shifts as they start walking the trail. And then I just hear Sally running around like, don't worry, we're going to chase them off. And normally you would park and there you would walk the whole trail system, right? It's a really easy trail. It's not like it's difficult or anything. You can walk down and look at the views and all of this. And they just walked in. And so I just kind of walked to my car. And once I walked to my car, they literally just turned around and walked out and left this group of people. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then I hear Sally like, told you, we chased them off. So it was just a funny little story to share. And I have some more things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to catch up on reels today too, and hopefully be sharing those. But thank you all for your patience as I travel and get a little more settled in. Love you all. Bye.